Energized show, up the Irish.
Okay, what's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Energized, brought to you by Forged Irish Stout. Ross,
are you intoxicated or something?
Introduce the guest, man.
Today we are bringing you the one and only UFC welterweight. It is Rhys McKee. Rhys, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good. You know, it's fight time and we're having chats, so good to be on talking to you.
Yeah, there's always fights going down in that WhatsApp group, isn't there, Ross?
Yeah, there is. We're keeping that WhatsApp group rocking. We're keeping it rocking. Rhys, tell us this: how excited are you to get to fight in Atlantic City? I don't think the UFC have been there in a while, and it's almost like a Vegas of the East Coast.
Yeah, it's like Atlantic City is probably one of them places that you probably would never go unless you had a specific reason to go. So, when I found out I was fighting there, it's pretty cool. And you know, I've always heard like any fans will know the reference Atlantic City in some of the episodes. So that's my chance to go and see it. So yeah, it's a good place to fight. It's a good place to experience. But as we said, it's about a fight, really.
Wasn't Atlantic City like the place to go gambling, and then all of a sudden, like people just start pulling out, and there's just loads of like casinos left, just hollow.
Yeah, I do believe it's like an American version of Vegas. Like we all go to Vegas, they probably go to Atlantic City. So
yeah,
no, I was just checking that out.
It's a wall spot, and then obviously fighting on the same card as your buddy Caelan Loughran. Do you think that was done on purpose? Now get the Irish takeover together.
I'm not sure. I think the UFC maybe have a list of people that like maybe they go through when they're matching they go through like the Paris card and like who needs match from this one, and then there's two Irish guys, so we might as well put them on. Maybe something like that. But it's funny, isn't it? It's funny how it's worked out. Two shows, like both on it together. So strange.
You didn't send them a message and be like, "Here, I don't want Caelan on the card. I want Paul Hughes on the card instead." No.
I think we've all tried the Paul Hughes messages, so. It's funny. It's just funny how things work out, but Paul's coming surely.
Yeah, undeniable that fella. Rhys, tell us this: what you make your opponent Chidi Njokuani, and did you know much about him when you were first told that's who you were fighting?
Yeah, to be honest, like we were getting to that stage where we were waiting for a name. So like I was going through the whole welterweight division, being like, it might be this guy, it could be this guy. But I never had eyes on Chidi because he was a middleweight, obviously. So he's never a name that I would have imagined would have been the next name. I wasn't massively aware of him. I seen like a lot of his finishes and stuff. I know he's some viral stuff, which is good to see. So, he's experienced. He's a wealth of experience. He's been around a long time. He's a fun style to watch. For me, being like a fight fan and a striking fan, like he's probably someone, you know, I enjoy watching his fights. So I like the name. I like the idea of taking a win off him. And you know, this time, you know, I know maybe a few years ago, Chidi was very like making noise in the UFC, like kind of high up. So like his name is worth a lot to have. So it's like same as the Jimmy Wallhead fight, like to have a win over a guy like that holds a lot of stuff. So I'm glad, to be honest, I'm glad I didn't get the likes of a UFC debut or someone a bit fresher, because it's kind of like one of them wins. Not that nobody cares about because a win's a win, but this one holds something to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like people know his name. Obviously, his brother fights as well. So like they come from a fighting family. So it's a great name to have. Obviously, as you mentioned at the start, he's dropping down from middleweight to welterweight. Is there any fear of him like missing weight or anything like that? Obviously, you can't control that, but like, does that come into your mind at all? Being like, will this guy make the weight come fight night?
Not really, to be honest. Not really, because you know, at the end of the day, you have to look at it as he's fighting in the UFC. Like he knows how important this is. He knows the UFC take no shit, so you have to make weight. So I'm not too bothered. What I do know is I'm fighting on the 30th of March. So whether it's Chidi or whether it's somebody like not even talking weight issue, he could get injured for all we know. So you know, I'm turning up 30th of March, and you know, hopefully he's there because again, he is the name I want. But if not, it'll be someone else.
And Rhys, we can see you're wearing a few marks on your face at the moment. Who's giving you those hard rounds up in FAI at the moment?
You know,
Shanda.
I'm not too sure who gave me these. They're like just wee Velcro burns, but of course on a Monday morning on an interview they don't look too good. So that's how you know we're in fight camp too.
Yeah, of course. And obviously, Rhys, the last time out in Paris, it didn't go your way. It was a close fight. There was a massive rally in the third. Do you feel like there's a bit of pressure on you coming into this one? And then obviously, you recently became a father as well, so congratulations on that. Unbelievable to see. So does that give you even more reason to motivate you to go out there and get that W?
Well, you know what? Like pressure isn't the word that's been with me my whole career.
Mm.
So there's no, I've seen articles already. These both guys have backs against the wall and carry on like that. It's like it's a fight game. It's never a good time to lose a fight. When you're going in your next fight, you definitely can't lose that one because you lost your last. It's just a good narrative. Pressure, like we're fighting in the UFC here. Like everybody wants to win. Like the contracts are online, so like. I wouldn't say there's a pressure, but it's a must-win fight. So it's in that way. And then in terms of like the child and stuff, like it gives you a real reason to do everything. It's like before like it's hard. I can't say that I found extra motivation because I've always been motivated. I've always had a reason to do it. But like there's now an extra reason to try and get these 50 Gs sent across.
Yeah.
That there would be nice for sure. So you just want to do everything you can to line her up for the most amazing quality of life you can. And if that means, training that little bit harder for an extra 20 minutes every day, then maybe that's just being done. But motivation has never really been a hard thing for me.
Rhys, when you look back at the performance in Paris and like in the build up to this fight, like what do you sort of focusing on, like on how to improve and like come out this time and like get that W?
Yeah, like I suppose we really haven't spoke about this too much, but in Paris, like the biggest problem for me was I missed not an excuse, this is not an excuse, but like I missed time the warm up to the fight. So I warmed up maybe 45 minutes before I fought. So by the time I get into the fight, I was kind of like cooled down again and chilled out again. So this time there's a big emphasis on how that warm up was going to look and how I'm going to come out swinging. There's going to be no secret. So I started too slow. Chitty's a fast starter, so that them two things put together makes me destined to fix what went wrong in Paris. Not taking anything away from Lusa, but the way I started lost me that fight, and that's really how I see it.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where you're watching it being like, you looked a bit more tentative at the start of the open rounds, and I was like, oh, like for me, it was like a UFC debut again. I know you fought the UFC before, but if this one felt like it was like fresh start, brand new, and like I was like, oh, it did look a bit slower. Then you were coming on stronger in the third. Do you think it's going to be ultra important to time that warm up in the back? How like you're basically almost coming off pads to the walkout. How like you're fresh and ready to go.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like even a lot of it was mindset. Like it's going to be obviously the storyline's going to be here this time, but in Paris and stuff, it was like everybody was talking about the first time in the UFC and this is their time back. It was kind of a draining energy, to be honest. Where this time it's like we're here now. It's like let's just talk about this next fight. So a lot of it's the mindset as well. And I've never been someone who suffered the jitters of the UFC and stuff like that. I just haven't got the performances in the play. If I finished Lusa at the end of that fight, nobody would have been talking about oh, he started slow, and it's just a result, and sometimes when a result doesn't go your way, it doesn't mean anything's broke. It just means you didn't get the win on that day because another man did, So I think sometimes you can look into stuff too much. However, we will fix what didn't go right and put ourselves in the best position to win the fight.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, Rhys, I was absolutely heartbroken when you lost, but
yeah, but we both were. We all anyone who watched
you weren't Ross. I was. You weren't.
So, I'll go on record. What's called Rhys. You're probably personally my favorite fighter. As in, like when you win or lose, like I feel it the most. Like it just is what it is. I don't know why.
I appreciate to hear that for sure.
You say that to everyone, man.
No. Just like there's something special. It's like I actually. It's not even like I'm rooting for Rhys McKee the fighter. I'm rooting for Rhys McKee, the guy, if that makes sense. That's the way I look at it. Just feel like you work so hard and you deserve it all, and you're always like so courteous to everyone. So
like I feel like I've been at this game a long time, and even some people like look at me fighting this guy with so many fights, and like people forget I've been cracking about since I was 14, 15. So I have a lifetime dedicated to this as well. Like invested a lot of my time and gave up a lot of my normal life, which I never wanted anyway, but like to the sport. So it's going to work though. It is working. Like the fact that this is my career now is amazing. So now it's just time to get my hand raised and then bask in the glory of the UFC.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing you might not have even thought about, but obviously when you were fighting your last couple of fights in Cage Warriors, you were the champion. You were preparing for 5 rounds all the time. Do you think that maybe had a factor in the fight that it didn't get you going as fast? Because like you were used to 25 minutes opposed to 15 minutes, like the shorter fight, a bit faster at the traps. Do you think that had any sort of impact on the fight at all? Or the preparation?
Like 100%. I couldn't I didn't say it, but you said it. It's one of the things that we've talked about the most. I always had a 5-round mentality for the last 4 fights, and it's a totally different fight prep. Not a different fight prep, a different start to the fight, a different approach. Where now it's like with 15 minutes at most to do work. So it's no longer like a mini marathon. It's more we're going to sprint. So and that's the thing. My gas tank lasts for 5 5s every time. So for 3 5s, I can put on that higher pace and just go straight to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like I always think like if it gets to round 4 or 5, like back in your championship fights, it was like well, Rhys going to excel here. Like, can they keep up that pace? So I think the faster start against Chiji, who has a few first round finishes as well. So like the danger's there, but I think the danger probably excites you as well because he's going to come out and he's going to fight fire with you.
Yeah, for sure. And like the danger, like I've never once went out to a fight and stood in front of someone and let them just work. It's I'm coming out to fight. I'm coming out to fight too. So sometimes it's easy to look at these guys and think, oh, he does this, but you forget to like look in the mirror at what you do yourself. So I'm bringing the fight. I'll bring the fight straight to him. Again, he is dangerous in that first round. He's dangerous exchanges. He looks fantastic in everything he does, but I have a good way of wearing people down and drowning them and making them kind of want to get out of there. So that's very much the game plan to break everybody's heart. And that's not a game plan for him. If he was replaced with someone else, I'd be wanting to drown them, tire them out, bring them to the deep waters and make them break.
Yeah, Rhys, I also want to touch on what happened to Ryan Curtis recently as well. Like, what's the atmosphere like in the gym? Because the way the whole community, like, and like the MMA community, and even more so, like the whole country, how they've sort of rallied behind Ryan, and they really hope to see him back, 100% healthy.
Yeah, it's such a traumatic event. Like the gym is back now. Is obviously still very hard to accept what happened and stuff. But the first week after it happened and that weekend was like such a strange energy in the gym. But now Ryan's making little progressions every day. Like every week he's getting a bit better. So that's buzzing the lads on. And we're very much in the mindset of like we need to go out and get these wins till like honor Ryan. It's like Ryan's obviously in the situation he's in now, so I feel like we all have a responsibility to bring the wins to him. So I'm actually going down to visit him tomorrow, so I'm excited to see him and hear from him again. But it's it makes everybody so grateful for the sport that we're able to do.
Yeah, he did let you fight. He did let you fight in his Dublin card before as well. So like, don't forget that.
Yeah, you know what he did? The Chaos Cartel signed it off, and I was allowed to.
No, he's just such a legend-like character. I still actually can't believe it's true, but hopefully he makes it back 100%. And we will put a link down in the bio for Ryan's GoFundMe. And also Cage Conflict will be coming up as well on the 24th of February, and all proceeds will be going towards Ryan. Rhys, will you be there as well? Like giving out autographs, charging people for autographs and selfies, yeah?
I don't know if people want autographs or selfies, but I'll definitely be there. So yeah, it's nice the way the show's doing it for Ryan and stuff too, and everybody in the country, as you said, everybody in the country, from seminars to GoFundMe to Big McGregor, and not like everybody's just came behind the thing. So
it was a beautiful thing to see, wasn't it, Ross?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, those GoFundMe's and stuff are so important because, like, not only does Ryan maybe need adjustments to his living arrangements to start off with and stuff like that, but like obviously, like his bills aren't going to stop. Like he's got a young child. Like I don't know what their setup is, whether they're paying for childcare or whatever they are, but like you know what I mean, like everyone knows themselves. You have a lot of expenses in life, and like it's probably very tough for Emma as well. So look, you know, every little bit helps. Like you know what I mean. Like if you can only afford the price of a cup of coffee or a pint, like you know, don't think like that's nothing. It will definitely help. So yeah, give what you can, and like we all say, we're all rooting for your chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the surgeons as well up in Belfast that have looked after Ryan as well. And if you want to find out exactly more about that, Liam McCourt was speaking with Errol Hawani, going into great detail about it. Yeah, it touched the whole community, and sort of it really shook us. I know it shook everyone, but like covering the sport and like we had to sort of take a couple of shows off just to really we didn't want to. It was hard to speak about because we didn't really know exactly what was going on about, and also we did not want to speak about it as well. So no, it was nice to get that out there. And as I said, the link will be down in the bio. But Rhys, what's the build up going to be like now to Atlantic City? Because as I said, the whole country is going to be supporting you, and they'll be tuning in to watch Kalen as well. But mainly for you. What's the build up going to be like, bud?
You know, like to be honest, it's like it's pretty much just work. It's like, you know, I'm kind of not fussed on like the fluff and commotion with the whole thing. It's like, you know, I just really set here and getting the win, and like I know we're talking and stuff like that. Like, but I probably the closer we get to the fight, I'm definitely gonna pull back from everything I'm doing in terms of like talking to people about the fight because
yeah,
like when it all is said and done, like all that matters is the win. Like, and if I lost my next 8 fights, like boys will not be talking to me. So I need to be going out and winning these fights. So like, and if that means pulling back from everything, and that's what I'm going to do. And I normally am like that the closer I get to the fight anyway. But I just feel it this time. Like I just not that I don't know. I just feel like all that matters to me right now is getting that win, being happy, being a dangerous fighter, and heading to Atlantic City safe, sound, and ready.
Yeah. Will there be any more Obsessed podcasts coming out, or any just YouTube videos in the build up?
Yeah, there will definitely be YouTube videos. There will definitely be like little mini blog series, stuff like that. The
Get
Obsessed
some help
podcast
off Paul Hughes there on what to name them.
What'd you say?
Get some help off Paul Hughes on what to name each episode.
Yeah, no, I love the naming thing. He needs to bring the vlog series back. They were good.
Yeah.
Until you featured in them getting them cracked. But,
That's the thumbnail.
Yeah, the fun. But in the Obsessed podcast, it's hard. It's like it's hard to get time. We were trying to get premises for the podcast, because I just felt that would take it to the next level. I want to get videos done all the time, so you know, to do anything you want to do it right. So I don't think now is the right time in terms of in the next few weeks. But we do have episodes in the bank, so they'll probably be released to take everyone over.
Yeah.
There you have it. Like world class athlete needs to do world class production. You know, with none of this amateur hour stuff.
No, I know you have to do the thing right. And then we done one video episode with Paul Hughes, and everybody loved it. So now I can go back to audio only.
Yeah, that was the show I was requesting the most.
Did you ever see it?
Yeah, I listened to it. Now I didn't actually watch it, but I listened to it.
You know what? We done the video and then never released the video, rather than send it around a few people just to kind of see what it looked like. But it looks so good. And I done one with Liam Shannon video as well. So, I need to get it released though. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, stick that one out. Make sure to check out Rhys's Instagram, and also make sure to check out his podcast as well, because you never know who could be the next guest. Yeah, but Rhys, just before we wrap things up, is there anything else you want to say to people tuning in now?
No, just I'm going to be in Atlantic City on the 30th of March, and that's where you're going to see me. So I just appreciate all the support from the community. The country is always behind the Irish, so it's exciting. Just another time and another chance to go out and be one of our own. So I'm going to relish in that.
Skeletor's back, baby. We can't wait to see it, Rhys. It's going to be.
Guys, what do you think of the name?
I love it. I love it. For those at home who will pull down the fourth wall, that's the name of our WhatsApp group. Skeletor.
Jeez, giving away everything, man.
So look, you know what I mean. That's what people want to know. They want to know what's going on in the DMs. You know.
They want the behind the scenes.
Yeah, the behind the scenes. You know what I mean? I love it.
Yeah, well, if we're lucky, Rhys might jump on again ahead of his fight as well. But we'll see what happens.
Sure.
But Rhys, thanks a million for your time. We'll let you get on with the rest of your day, okay?
Yes, lads. Appreciate it.
All the best, Rhys.
Cheers,
Have a
Rhys.
good one.
Energized show, up the Irish. Been sussing you guys a couple of times. I've seen a couple of clips. I think you done some interviews with Dylan Moran and that I saw. So keep going, keep up the good work, guys.